We're making a Mexican-inspired chicken salad packed with protein, roasted corn, and a tangy Greek yogurt lime crema. It's fresh, fast, and perfect for wraps or chips. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla, and if you love healthier recipes to our favorite foods, then you are in the right place. You're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the link that's in the video description below, and that will take you to the full recipe with nutrition facts, ingredients and substitutions, and frequently asked questions. Now when it comes to the corn in the salad, you have the option of just using it fresh or roasting it first. I prefer to roast it because I think that really brings out more flavor in the corn. And I also like to roast it with the red onions because it softens the onions, which also gives them a little bit more flavor and I find a little bit more easily digestible. So we have 1.5 cups of corn, and you could use fresh or canned. We have 1/4 cup of some chopped red onion, which is about 1/4 of a red onion. And then I have 2 cloves of minced garlic. Now to roast the corn, you could use a cast iron pan. I'm going to use my Hex-Clad pan, which combines the best of cast iron, stainless steel, and non-stick. So I'm going to bring it to a medium-high heat, and then add in about a tablespoon of some light olive oil. Now that's nice and warm, we'll go ahead and add in our corn, our red onion. And I'll add a few pinches of salt and a couple of dashes of pepper. And then we want to spread it out nice and even. And then we're just going to let that sit and cook for about 3 minutes so that that corn can get some nice color on the bottom. So it's been about 2.5 minutes. So now we'll come in and give it a good stir. You can see it's already starting to brown on the bottom. And we'll go ahead and spread this out again. And we'll just let that cook for about another minute. Now we'll come in and give it another stir. You can see we're getting some nice color on the bottom of the corn. Now that we have about a minute left in our pan, we want to go ahead and add our garlic. And we'll give that a chance to warm up and start to bloom. And then we can start mixing it all together. And then as soon as you can smell that garlic, you know it's done. Let's go ahead and turn off our heat. Then we'll transfer it to a plate so it can cool. To make our really easy Greek yogurt lime crema, we're going to start with a small mixing bowl. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of some plain Greek yogurt. And I like to use the full fat for the most creaminess. Next we'll add a tablespoon of avocado oil. You could also use light olive oil. And then using the same measuring spoon that still has a little oil in it, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of some honey, but you could omit this if you like. I just find it's a really nice balance to the tart Greek yogurt as well as the lime juice. And then speaking of limes, I'm just going to take 1 small lime and we'll juice it right in. Oh man, that smell is so good. And then for some simple seasonings, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. Now I prefer to keep the seasonings on the mild side because that makes it the most easily digestible, but if you'd like to add a little more kick or spice to it, you could easily add some chili powder. And then I'm just going to take my whisk and we'll whisk it all together till it's nice and smooth. Well, that looks perfect. And now is a really good time for a little taste test. That is so good. If you'd like it to be sweeter, you could go ahead and add a little bit more honey or adjust the seasonings however you like. Now we can assemble our salad, and I've started with 2 cups of chicken in my mixing bowl. Now you could use any chicken that you like. Maybe you have some leftover chicken from dinner last night, or you could use a pre-cooked rotisserie chicken. My favorite is using my really easy Dutch oven shredded chicken that only takes about 20 minutes to make. I've included a link in the description below if you'd like to check it out. So next we'll add our roasted corn and red onion. And to add some really delicious creaminess and flavor, we're going to add some avocado. I'm just going to dice this into some little, about 1/2 inch sized chunks. And then we'll just cut it crosswise to get our nice little bite-sized pieces. And we'll just add those right on top. And I do like to give it a couple little pinches of salt right on top of the avocados just to bring out their flavor. And this is when I like to add in the dressing because I want that lime juice to get all over the avocados, because that's also going to help keep them from turning brown on us until it's served. And then we'll just stir this all together. That looks so good. But we are not done yet. So now we can add in 1/2 cup of some black beans. Make sure you rinse these thoroughly. And then we'll add 1/2 cup of some little diced cherry tomatoes. You can use any tomatoes that you like. And then we'll mix those in. And I love how colorful this looks. And then we'll just dice up about 1/4 cup of some cilantro leaves to give us some fresh green on top. And what I consider to be the best part, which is the cheese. And this is some tortilla cheese. And I have about 1/2 cup here. And I'll just kind of gently fold it in so we still get to see all those beautiful colors and fresh ingredients on top. Well, I wish you could smell my kitchen right now because it smells so fresh and vibrant, and I am so excited to dig in. Make sure I get a bite with all the different pieces. All those flavors come together in the most incredible bite. It's sweet and tangy, and then I get the creaminess of the avocado, and I love the little bit of salt that we put on top of it. And now it can go into an airtight container and store it in the fridge, and then it's ready for your big barbecue or social gathering, or just to batch prep and enjoy all week. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below. And that will take you to my website, gentletummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I cannot wait to have you join me again in my kitchen. And in the meantime, I will be dipping my chip and enjoying the salad.